Hey, this is Anonymous T. Welcome to my backup channel, Anonymous T Podcast. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are talking Love Island USA Season 6. I believe it's episode 27. But first and foremost, you guys, all these new viewers that came after the viral argument between Cordell and Serena, you guys crashed the app today. You crashed the Love Island USA app for 20 minutes, you guys. 20 minutes. I have been an A1 Day 1 Love Island fan. I have been an A1 Day 1 Love Island USA fan. I've been an A1 Day 1 voter for all of the Love Island shows, you guys. And I've never had an issue getting into the app. I've never had to wait to get into the app, or it's saying that it's retrying, or that they have to reconnect, or just giving me a flat out blank screen. And I knew it wasn't my internet. I knew my internet wasn't the issue, because I even turned off my internet on my phone, on my device. And it still was giving problems. So nonetheless, the episode itself was kind of boring. It was very boring. It's very predictable, because it seems now the whole purpose is really to just keep the OGs and make sure they get to the final. It is the vibe that I'm getting, right? Because we left off with Harrison coming in, right? And so there wasn't much Janae in this episode either. Not much Janae in this episode. I think people want us to forget the Aaron and Kaylor drama. A lot of emphasis on Kendall and Nicole. And Kendall doing all these things, setting up breakfast at Soul Ties and making Kenny be the butler. Like, just weirdo behavior, right? And then Kane being weird with Sierra. And I've got to say, the more that I see Sierra, the more I get pissed at production. Because why wasn't she an OG? She should have been an OG, and she could have had quite the experience in the villa. She reminds me so much of a calm version of Sully. That's what she reminds me of. A calm version of Sully that is not going to take anybody's mess in that villa. And she has my respect for that. And I love all the little ponytails she likes to do with the slick back. It reminded me of Ella from Love Island UK last season. But nonetheless, the episode itself sucked. Basically, we get into the evening and everybody is having some sort of physical activity that is more than kissing, to the point Kane was disgusted with these people and was like, you know what, thanks but no thanks, I'm going to sleep outside because y'all are doing way too much. So nonetheless, I doubt that he went outside because people were simply making out, because Leah and Miguel look like they picked up where they left off before he left for Casa. So nonetheless, and then Leah brags the next morning to Serena that they were going at it for like 3 hours. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Right? So that was that, right? And so essentially, Kendall, is everybody's pulling out the stops. Cordell is scared to bring the breakfast to Serena because he doesn't know if she's going to, push it up against his abs again, or what's going to happen there. Then later on, Serena does Cordell's hair finally and gives him some cute little curls. And then pretty much we get the text that Harrison has to go out on 3 dates and choose 3 women. So the first person that he chose was Sierra, you guys. And Sierra, although I don't think she really likes Harrison like that, but I think she knows how to play this game. I think she knows what she needs to say, what she needs to do to last in this villa, which is what you do when you are a Casa girl. This is what you do when you're a bombshell. You get to know multiple people. You get to know the right people that is going to keep you in the villa, right, for the time being, right? And so nonetheless, that happened. And then they also started making out on their date, you guys. Started making out. So I knew right away that this was probably who he was going to pick, because out of everybody, it's the easiest person to steal. And if it's like the UK version and we're getting down to the end, there's too many people in this villa, people are going to be dumped now. Right? if in fact Cassie is the last bombshell. People are going to be dumped now because they need to get to their final four for the finals, right? So nonetheless, that happened. Date number 2 went to Nicole. And Nicole, even though she claims that she told Harrison that she's closed off, she cannot stop smiling. She cannot stop snorting. She cannot, having all this light in her eyes and smiling. And, the conversation that if he was, if Harrison was in there from the beginning, would Nicole have chose him and all of these things. And so my thing is, I think Nicole knows how the public views her. And I think Nicole thinks that she needs to stick with Kendall for the chance to win. That it's not so much about her liking Kendall or not, as it is, she wants to make sure she doesn't put herself in jeopardy. But that still may be the case depending on how this voting situation goes. So nonetheless, Kendall is having a meltdown. He is jealous. He is upset. This tall Australian dude comes in with stringy hair, and they keep calling him a Greek god and Thor and the Hemsworth. And I'm like, this is an insult to Thor. You guys better stop it. Stop the madness. So Nicole, she is wearing like some sexy outfit. She has, her little session with Harrison. I kind of felt when I saw, because they basically were on this couch in front of a whole bunch of yachts for the date. I kind of felt when I saw this that Nicole shouldn't have been there, but Kaylor should have been there. I thought they were really going to target the couples that were having some problems, that were going to be vulnerable, which would make sense with Rob and Danielle, but it didn't make sense with Nicole and Kendall, other than to potentially see if there was a chance the head was going to turn. But I think production likes Kendall and his madness and his instigating, so it just didn't make any sense, right? And so then the last date, which I kind of said, is it was Daniela, Rob's girl, even though Rob could care less about her going on the date. He was the least, interested in this date or anything associated with it. In fact, you could argue that he was pushing for Daniela to go, because remember the other night he said that he wanted to take a step back with her, that he doesn't know if he trusts her because she's saying the same stuff that she was telling Aaron and was all about Aaron for most of Casa. But I also think Rob knows Cassie's coming. I truly believe that. I think he knows that she is coming, and he thinks that that is going to be his ticket to the end. He thinks that Cassie is going to be his ticket to the W, but I want to see how Cassie and Miguel interact, because that is going to be very interesting, and how Leah moves when it happens, you guys. So nonetheless, that was that. And then the rest of the day, it kind of was nothing. Daniela and Harrison, I don't know. It really wasn't anything of substance. It honestly wasn't. To be honest, I don't even remember what happened on their date. But nonetheless, all the girls give a debrief, each of them as they come back one by one, on how their date went. And then in particular, Sierra gives a debrief to Kane. And Kane told her that if she talks to, Mr. Thunder Down Under Harrison again, that he is done with her. And I'm like, you guys just coupled up the previous night. You guys just decided to get to know each other a couple of days ago, when Miguel tossed Sierra off to the side when his eyes, began to be on the prize. Even though he called Sierra a Mona Lisa in Casa, he has never called any of these other women no Mona Lisa. So basically, he was willing to ditch his best connection, the person that he had the most chemistry with and was the most romantically interested in, for the sake of thinking he had a better chance at winning the money by being in a couple with Leah. And we need to keep it a buck for what it is, you guys. But I am going to laugh that after all of this, after all of you guys that are rooting for Leah and Miguel, and Leah tries to make a beeline for Rob, that's going to be an absolute mess if she even still tries to go there once more, right? So then we have that, right? We have that going on. So, like I said, they get ready for the evening, and Harrison gets a text that basically says, hey, it's time to steal somebody. So everybody's freaking out because I think some people wanted to have some final conversations about some things. I can tell in the background that Kenny and Janae are very happy to be reunited, and we're getting zero screen time with them, you guys. We have to imagine what they're doing. We have to imagine what their interactions are. I believe, like, I had to pause a couple of times just to see Kenny and Janae. And I was like, for what? Right? Everybody else was getting screen time tonight but them, and I was a little frustrated. And why does Kaylor cry at the drop of the hat? She literally woke up crying because she missed Liv, and I understand that you miss Liv, but literally the first thing you do when you open your eyes is cry like that? Like it's insane. Like how quickly she just cries, like at least 5 times a day. And I don't understand it. And then, Janae is talking about how Kenny tells her that she's gorgeous every day. And was talking about how somebody else tells, Serena that she's cute. I think Cordell. And then Janae says that Aaron says that he calls Kaylor a gremlin. And I was like, oh, no. Not no gremlin. Are you out of your mind? That's not a compliment. Aaron's got to be out of his mind. Aaron, what do you look like? Like, be serious. Be for real. So, anyways, back to the stealing, right? Because for some reason, and I don't know if this was an editing thing or this was like lines being fed, but Kendall and Nicole were convinced that Harrison was going to choose Nicole, which was going to leave Kendall single and vulnerable, right? And then Harrison, this whole long stringy hair, this look isn't it. And his eyes are a lot more narrower. Like, I'm not seeing what these people are seeing in the villa. I think they're just overhyping him because he previously was on the show and they don't want to say or do anything that's going to, mess any of that up, right? So, nonetheless, obviously it's between the people that he selected for the dates. The guys were trying to get tea on who he liked, and he was giving them absolutely nothing. So, Serena and Nicole and Daniela were the ones, that were who he was interested in, right? And so they keep panning to Kendall and Nicole. They keep panning to them, making all these comments like, it's going to be fine if he chooses me. It's not going to change our status and all these things that doesn't even make any sense because it never was confirmed that, he was going to choose you if you told him that you were closed off. Why would he do that, right? Especially this end of the game. He's going to be about securing his safety first to just remain in the villa at least for a couple of days. And so, nonetheless, that's what happened. He decided to choose Sierra, who previously, was just complaining about Kane, basically saying that if she talked to Harrison again, that he was done with her. Even though he really didn't have that power or that position to even make such statements, especially when they just became a couple, right? So, nonetheless, Kane has an attitude when Harrison announces Sierra's name as he's walking towards Sierra. And I think at that point, he already knew what was going to happen. He already knew what was up. And so he gets the text message that he's been officially dumped from the villa, you guys. And the reaction wasn't really one of like, oh my gosh, I'm so emotional, I'm so upset you're leaving, like how it was with Liv the previous night. But then it doesn't make any matters any better because he gives a little speech before things, before he gets out of there. And he's like, listen, some of you guys are dramatic. Some of you guys are emotional. I've made some brothers for life, but deuces. And I was like, what? Like it was just nothing but madness, you guys. And then I enjoyed Miguel this episode because he was doing so much gaslighting and so much instigating as it pertained to playing on Kendall's insecurities about Nicole and Harrison. And it was just funny. It was hilarious. Miguel was in his element, just being completely messy. That is his strength, right? Just being messy, instigating stuff in this villa. I'm glad he finally took off that do-rag to have some waves show up, finally. But yeah, it's just funny. But it's like we have to be realistic on these USA seasons. We know how it's going to end, especially if half the cast is international. That like they're not going to be flying back and forth to the UK or Australia anytime soon to make any of this work. So why are we even trying to put that energy out there? Can you make it make sense? So we don't have a preview for Sunday night. We have the After Sun that's going to be coming up later today. And if there's any interesting tea, I will update you guys on that. But nonetheless, we will see what happens. I presume within the day or next, how I envision it is going to be the heart rate challenge. And I think after that, that's when they're going to bring in Cassie in like some sexy type of outfit, right? And that's going to be like maybe Sunday will be the heart rate challenge. I'm hoping it's Sunday, right? But it would be Sunday, and then maybe it's going to carry over to Monday. And then that's when they're going to announce, like, they'll do the heart rate challenge. Then they're going to have a vote. Because remember, they did that, I think, season 3 with Cinco. Remember, Cinco got sent home and some other people. And so it was like Cinco and I think a Casa girl and somebody else. I forgot all the people. But nonetheless, I say that to say they're going to do the heart rate challenge. They're going to send some people home based off of this vote. And then from there, they are going to bring in Cassie in like a sexy little heart rate challenge outfit, right? Or bring her in at the end of the heart rate challenge. Like one way or the other, she's going to be brought in some capacity, you guys. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. I'm going to see how her interactions go with both Miguel and Rob, because I think those are going to be the top 2 people she'll be gunning for. And we will see what happens from there. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.